T1's going to have to play that delaying game with the rest of their heroes while that happens.
Defense here with this. I think T1 looks a bit better, but it's hard to say. I agree with you. They both look kind of pretty good going into this. Still, we will find out. This is game number 3 of this best of 3 in TNC Predator versus T1. And, I mean, this series has looked so even as we've gone over the games, and really could just go either way. It seems as though it's just about who has the better start, because every single game we have seen, the person who does without the first 10-15 minutes tends to just carry the game through all the way to the end.
Definitely. It really just gets dictated by that laning phase into that early mid game. That's what really dictates who has to play the catch up, can start setting the pace of the game themselves, start forcing out the movements themselves. It's really that early part of the game that's important. And this is going to be interesting to see. Like, Paulson right now is up top with Miracle, although it looks like they might be walking Miracle away, but that's a dual lane that really doesn't give me too much confidence. Ricky Undying just doesn't sound potent. There's no synergy there, no direct synergy.
But if you do rotate the Tusk up with Tag Team and you get a few decay stacks off, it does seem like it could get a few kills for them.
Just enough time to make a cup of tea.
There will be pain. There will be screaming.
I don't really know if it's going to be enough. I guess we're going to have to find out. The thing is, the press the attack is so much more effective when you get decayed. You can just basically heal up to full and just wait for the decay to wear off.
Again, that's one of the things with with Undying and with Decay. If you can heal through it, then it actually gives you a lot more value from your healing. It just brings you back to full very fast. At the very least, T1 does get a good amount of runes for themselves. 3-1.
Good. We do see already Jocam is going to rotate up, and it's the Tusk. You have level 1 tag team, you want to make as much use of it as possible early on, because that's really when it's most powerful. For now, he will go to the mid lane. Jocam looks to try and see if he can find this Queen of Pain courier coming out early on. And it looks like it is on its way, but he has left. Gone TP down to the bot lane, where he'll try to assist Forev on that offlane DP up against Tims and Gabian. Probably going to see a lot of focus in just slowing down Gabby, as we saw in game 1, where they really just shut him down completely. Tim's almost going to go down, but not quite there. Still doesn't really have a salve, so he will have to just slowly heal up with the headdress and the tangos.
This combination from T1 isn't, again, the most synergistic, but you can really make it work once you apply those slows on. Once you have at least level 2 on the DP, I think, with a level in Spirit Siphon, you can really just dive in, find those kills, and it's going to be hard for them to kind of counterplay that bar from TNC.
KP is just casually chasing this Ricky Courier. He does not find it, and he's taking a lot of T1 tower damage. Miracle with some very nice micro. As he's going for CS underneath his own T1, that was quite beautiful to watch, and KP getting a little bit too excited. He's forced back out of the lane. Watch Paulson trying to harass out March a bit on the Keeper of the Light. Trying to be as disruptive as possible, because the one thing is the Ricky really doesn't enjoy going up against the Keeper of the Light in lane, because the Blinding Light just makes it so hard to secure any form of CS.
Yeah, it's one of the things that the Ricky is gonna lose out on. At the very least, you can still play with your Blink Strike, I believe. I believe it does the tick of damage. Cast it, at least the bonus damage you're supposed to get. Can kind of play with that. It's a very tight window for it, though. It's not much damage. Really something that will slow down Miracle a bit, although he has been kind of left alone. You're not seeing the pressure coming out from KP at the very least.
Mid lane. See Armel there on the Queen of Pain up against In Your Dream. In Your Dream, considering the matchup is having a decent time so far, basically just trailing in CS by a couple. It's to be expected though. It's very hard to fight into a Queen of Pain with Shadow Strike being leveled up. All you can really do is Flame Guard through it. You won't really have the chains till later on to really try and deal with her effectively.
At the very least, you can try to time your sleight of fist around, but then you have to choose whether to try to dodge the scream or the dagger. And I think overall, you're going to be happy to just trade farm here. It's a slight lead for Armel, but it's not like IYD is completely behind just yet, although the denies Armel has. It's going to make it a bit rougher here for IYD.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Top lane, gonna jump in with Miracle and KB, gonna be fine. Again, the blinding light comes in from the Coddle, and that'll just stop anything, although Paulson is still thinking about moving forward. Did pop a mango, but doesn't make anything of it as KP will just continue to taunt. That's really all he can do. Doesn't really have much lane control, but will also just commit the overwhelming odds and continue to try and secure CS that way. He's a little bit afraid of this Undying moving forward again, and there's Paulson showing up, spamming Decay, and KP just doesn't feel confident to really move forward onto those creeps.
Yeah, it's, I mean, once those do stack up, the Ricky does have a good amount of damage to keep
In your
out.
dream, finds the first blood onto Tim's as they were trying to make a gank. Paulson now going to rotate over just to ensure the Ember is going to survive through this. The Soul Rip will come out just to ensure it. And so that was meant to be a first blood on the Ember. However, they end up giving it away. Though, Armel does jump back in after In Your Dream, gets a nice Shadow Strike off. Your Dream may actually be dead this time. Then again, Paulson is still around, and OID still running. Looks like he will survive.
Just on the edge there, but he is forced to back off now. He can TP back in at very least. This is going to give Armel a little bit more time down mid to give himself a lot more to play with. Once he hits his level 6 ahead, that could be enough for him to really commit to IYD if he steps just a bit.
Will TP back to the lane. Hasn't lost too much time, but it does give Armel a lot of time to get some very safe CS, and now he's at 32 on 14. Dream gonna start moving forward, try to harass him out a little bit with the Flame Guard, but Armel's not too afraid. Just harass him back, and in fact leads forward. Sonic Wave is available, he's thinking about throwing it out. He's run out of mana, but now he does get it out. It's not gonna be enough, the one charges were there from IYD. Top lane, another fight breaking out Tim's. He does lose his life to Paulson. Now they go after KP where Jocam has joined in. They won't be able to secure the LC kill, but that is going to make it a 0-2 now for T1.
Again, finding those early laning kills so far. They do have a 1k lead, not the most massive amount, but they are certainly having a good time securing that farm for their Ricky.
Gabby goes down solo to Forever. That is terrible news, and now March goes down to Paulson as Jocam just stuck around the tusk. KP moving forward a little bit.
Top tower gonna fall over soon.
Probably wants to go after that tombstone, but I don't think Paulson's going to make it easy. Goes for the decay. KP is set on it and does get a fair bit of gold out of that tombstone at least.
This is going to be a bit of an issue for TNC. 4Ev is at level 6 now. Pops the Exorcism is going to be forcing out this tier bot. They have to rotate March in, try to slow that down, but I don't think that's actually going to stop the Ghost from hitting the tower.
Well, it's actually doing a lot of damage to Gabby. Spirit Siphon again coming out. That'll require another support rotation from TNC. In fact, it's Armel joining in on the Queen of Pain. I don't believe they'll make the dive while the Exorcism's still going. They may have to just wait that out. Forever, it's about to wear off. Does he back out? He gets a range creep, and he does.
They forced out the response from TNC, so that means Armel is going to have to work his way back mid. That does give some time for IYD to just get some catch-up farm of his own. That does give Tim some space to soak at least, but it doesn't take too long for the Queen of Pain to come back in.
Hey, Armel. Gonna make his way back. Gabby, again, though, going to be the target of a gank attempt as Jocam's going to rotate in. Gabby does have waveform, so he should just be perfectly fine. You don't have the silence yet on Forever to really just keep him still. But with this bottom lane, I mean, it's almost a repeat of what happened in game 1, where Gabby's just not able to find the farm he needs to really carry this game through for TNC.
Haste.
Jocam now, gonna get spotted out by Armel. Snowball. Does blink forward. This could be really dangerous. He does have a haste rune active, and the shotgun coming out from Tim's will be enough. A lot of committal for that Jocam kill, however. Using that Sonic Wave up, and he did need a support rotation from Tim's.
Yeah, at the very least they find their first kill. They do manage to punish that movement from Jocam. Still, you do have to worry about that progression on the Morphling. Like, free up that lane once more. 4Ev just comes in, starts to apply that pressure. Gabby is forced to play around with his Agi strength ratio and isn't really finding too much lane farm. He's at 33-6, compare that to 4Ev's 41-20. Miracle's 46-20. You know, it's a much better time here for T1 in terms of raw farm.
KP going to drop top lane. And again, it's just another great setup here from Jocam on the Tusk. It's just the combination of the Undying Tusk really paying off for T1. As tanky as the LC is, she just can't sustain.
Yeah, it's you can't really expect too much from the LC at this point. They can just press the attack and try to heal up, but the damage isn't there, the pressure isn't there. They have to duel up, they're not finding those early kills as well. You really need those early kills.
KP does rotate, a nice duel coming up. Paulison, how do you help? He doesn't have Soul Rip, but it won't matter. They don't have the damage.
Oh man,
That is concerning.
That is a massive committal as well to try to find that dual win. And I was talking about those dual wins being pivotal. They need them.
Chains gonna be there. Blinding Light will help a bit. Illuminate to fly through. In Your Dream actually goes down to the Illuminate and the Scream of Armel. They do get a trade by taking out Tim's, but I don't think you want to lose your Ember like that. Meanwhile, top lane, KP. Just gonna be free food here for Miracle on the Ricky. It seems as though every time Jocam's around the area with that level 2 tag team, it's just a very, very easy kill.
Pause, please. I'm terrified.
It really just works quite nicely with Ricky's kit, amping up his damage, giving him a nice slow to control people into the tricks of the trade. Getting a lot of value from that kind of combination. One has been making good work of this early game so far. I would like to see a little bit more guided aggression from TNC. Again, KP's had that duel for a while. Needs to get those early duel wins in. You do have the kisses up on Tim's, so that should be a much more straightforward process now, as long as you have these two heroes together.
Smoke up from Armel. Tim's and Gabby are also going to be there. Have March around the area already, and they jump in, although silence is there on Armel. He is falling very quickly, and he does go down. Still snapped by kisses flying out. Paulson, he will melt. Karev now getting jeweled up, but Miracle, he has joined in. Still, they will get the duel win, but this could be bad for TNC. But a huge will-o-wisp coming out from March is holding him back. The chains now from In Your Dream. He continues to move forward as March does fall on the Keeper of the Light. It looks like Tim should be the next target here for the Ricky. And eventually, In Your Dream probably will find him. He does. Gets the chains off. Gabby now has morphed into the Ember, but he will manage to remnant away in time. And Miracle just going to go for a run as Armel has respawned. In Your Dream doesn't have Remnant. Sonic Wave will be enough, but now the Snowball coming in. It does not connect. Is it going to be there for Armel to go down? It is not. Miracle, he needs to run away. Forev now going to join back in on the DP, but overall, I think you would call that a TNC win.
Definitely. They managed to find a better trade there. They do get the bigger heroes in exchange. They finally do manage to get a dual win onto KP, so all things do work out for TNC there. It does take quite a fair bit of a response from both sides. T1 not going to be too happy about how that trade went.
They found Gabby, though he does walk out of the smoke screen. It does secure the T1. However, Armel may not be so lucky. And now Gabby's kind of alone. leaving B. Tim's gonna come in with the cookie.
I'm sorry, Mortimer.
Thing was, I believe Gabby was perfectly fine. So, maybe a bit of a misplay there from
Radiant's
Tim's.
middle tower is under
Well, that's just gonna give a secondary kill now to T1.
Yeah, just a bit of a misstep. Like, the moment Gabby was pretty far left already, managed to reach close to that ramp. There was no real need to be there. I don't think the chase was going to be expended by T1. Weren't really committing when Jokam was up with the tag team anyway. And that does just give a bit of a kill to T1 nonetheless. At the very least, it's just, you know, it's just him. He's not worth too much yet. You're not bleeding too much gold by giving that away. But T1 will take what they can get. They're going to be happy with just finding that kill. They are positioning around that bot lane again.
Something bad is happening.
TP's out just before the snowball comes in from Jokam. They will not be able to defend this bot T1 tower. So they'll actually leave it for Miracle as well on the Ricky to just come in and clean it up. Get that bonus gold for himself. They really seem to want that defusal up ASAP, and I can't blame them. Like, he's already 3-0 with 4 assists. He just needs that robe of the Magi to have the full defusal up. And that's the point where things start to get really silly, right? Because as Armel or the Morphling, you can't walk out of the smoke screen when you're purged up.
No.
Mad Dude's top tower
Just going to be
gonna fall over
a
soon.
constant issue for you to be stuck there. Of course, that just allows the rest of T1 to really pile up on top of that. And KP is stuck in the middle of all these heroes.
He's got a double damage. Tombstone to be dropped. Shards do not connect, and now Jokam, he may be too far forward.
Tower is under attack.
In fact, they will not try to pursue any kind of kill. KP just going to bide his time. But that mid T1 is a very, very valuable tower at this time of the game. And, well, they already had found the dire side T1, so T1 essentially just taking the tower back for themselves.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Bad Dude's top tower gonna fall over soon. Yo, Green Dudes, something bad is happening in your bottom. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Got that defusal up on Miracle now. So he's ready to do his damage, he's ready to jump in. And compare that to Gabby on the Morphling. He only really has that Morbid Mass. He's working towards the E-Blade straight up. But we're seeing that issue again with the Morphling. It just takes a while to build into where you're ready to fight. So TNC's just constantly trying to buy Gabby some time. He is trying to play forward though. The IYD, he has some help around. With Armel.
Could be a big kill. Dream. Jump in, but he is so quick. As soon as he sees the waveform, he's out of there. And I think you needed to probably wait for KP, but problem is KP doesn't have a blink up yet, so he can't really make the initiation himself. Jokam
Yo, Green Dudes.
understands there's an observer ward there, but
In your bottom.
is not allowed to de-ward it. Instead, they will start pushing the bot tier 2 tower.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's
Tombstone
structures
already
are
being dropped
fortified.
preemptively. I think this is going to be a very difficult team fight for TNC to try to go into. Like, you do have the exorcism up on Forever as well to boot.
Soon.
Yeah, they just allow the T2 to go down. There's just no point in even trying to defend this.
Middle tower, everyone, go now!
It's, again, giving T1 the control they like. They do really enjoy clearing out this bot lane first, getting control in that jungle and playing around that area. They're going to set themselves up here. See TNC on that lower ground. I think this is really the time to try to force something out, though. One just going to be happy with that. Of course, at the least, TNC is effectively using this time to farm up on Armel and Gabby. They're going to need to keep playing that farm game, though, as T1 will slowly try to chip away in the remaining map control TNC has.
TNC trying to, again, buy time for Gabby. Trying to get that Ethereal Blade up on the Morphling, it seems.
Speedy rune of
Time is ticking. Miracle is going straight into a BKB after that defusal. You know, once he has the BKB up, I don't see how you kill him. Like, the only answer is really the LC gets a duel off before he does pop the BKB, but essentially Armel's going to become completely useless in trying to take him out, and, you know, with the shotgun build on the Morph, I don't think that's going to work either.
No, it's going to be completely negated by this early pickup from Miracle. Be picking up soon. It's not the fastest pace, let's be frank. Rickies don't really flash farm too well. But if they just give this time away, TNC, and they will have to because they can't play aggressive while Gabby and Armel are still farming up, then you're going to be facing into that. You're not going to have any solution to that. You don't really have a way of stopping that item from going off. And as you mentioned, you're going to be relying on maybe just KP to get the control onto the Ricky, which could have his Blink Dagger by then, but that's not exactly the cutest thing. So you're going to have to really be careful about that one. Be able to get a decent timing there on Miracle. Not only that, but you've already got IYD. He's finished up his Spirit Vessel upgrade earlier on. Should have what looks to be a Maelstrom coming out soon as well, so his damage just immediately shoots up from that as well. We have Forev, who's towards what looks to be, I believe, his Ewel's into the BKB, so he's gonna have a BKB on that BP as this game goes on. And you're just gonna lack the control to get any of these heroes bursted down. That combination with Tim's Snapfire, the Mortimer Kisses just won't do anything at that point.
Definitely won't. Side of T1 just gonna just maintaining control of the map. TNC forced to stick together as they have smoked up now. They may just want to wait for this Blink Dagger to be available on KP before they really make a move. They're just kind of set up to defend the T2 mid if necessary, and T1 aren't going to make the push quite yet. They're going to take their time.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Got it.
2 for 2 trade on the bounties as well, so nothing too special there. T1, they're just going to maintain this 5k net worth thing. But I think that as time goes on, it does get worse and worse for this Radiant side. Like, I don't think it gets much better with this farm on the Morph. But perhaps if they found a Roshan, it could be enough space for Gabby to really get there. But he's getting a bit bashed up here, to be fair.
There's no vision from T1 in any position to contest this, so gonna be a free rush going away from TNC. That's gonna give them a lot more space to breathe at the very least. Gonna give them some leeway with Gabby's farm. That does give them a nice little gold injection as well, so gonna be happy with that overall. T1 probably, I know, like, sure, they give up that Roche. I don't think this is gonna change anything. It's on Gabby anyway. Gabby hasn't been joining fights for the most part. That means everyone else is still going to be susceptible to dying, as long as Tier 1 finds everyone else, which haven't really. They've taken their time here as well, slow down the pace. You do start to worry about T1's progression, like you have to wonder about Paulson on the Undying. He's rushing the Ags. I think that's really the only way you kind of maintain the relevancy of this hero. But it's a slow build-up for the Undying. Doesn't build up the Ags fast at the very least. He does have that Philosopher's Stone for a little bit more gold on him, and there is a smoke now. T1 feeling confident going in. They do have the BKBs up.
It's going to be a big team fight. It's going to be a hard one for TNC to deal with, and Gabby, currently on the front lines, may not be expecting this, but at least he does have the Aegis up, so it's not necessarily going to be the target they really want to go for first. They'd much rather Armel, who has his own BKB up, and in your dream, going to chain him up. Silence is going to be there, but they purged off with the press the attack. T1 just not really feeling confident enough to make that jump.
The flames rush forward.
They'll just wait. They're just going to continue to keep these waves pushed in. This has bought time for Gabby to have that full Ethereal Blade now. So the supports of T1 are going to suffer with this. Like, you're at least going to be able to blow up, you know, one of these supports early as this team fight begins, when it does begin.
I love it when you resist.
That should at least burst them up. I'm not sure which one you go for. Like, both of them are kind of tanky sports. Undying and Tusk do have a fair bit more HP than the sport have. But have silenced up Armel.
They have. Smoke screen. That does force out the 10-second charge of the BKB.
Is under attack.
So that's gone now. Armel really had no choice in the matter. He was definitely dead had he not popped it. By the way, John, you have a look over to the Undying Policy. He's going for straight Aghanims. As
it's the only way for him to really maintain that relevancy on that hero. Is having stronger decay stacks to come out, giving him a lot more strength to play with as well. I don't blame him for that. It is a slow progress, but again, he has that Philosopher's Stone to give him the GPM bonus, so he'll steadily work his way up to it.
Hit Gabby. Smokescreen going to be there with the defusal. Gabby has no BKB, but doesn't need it. Dual Ethereal, the Cookie will be there. Armel links in.
Difficult.
BKB is on cooldown, however, KP gets silenced as he jumps in and couldn't get the duel off in time. Now for it may turn this as Miracle jumps in with the smoke screen. Again, the Cookie will save from Tim's. Still, it looks like TNC want to keep moving forward, but this could be very dangerous as now they look to turn around once again onto Gabby. The silence will be there with the smoke screen. Do they have another Cookie? Not quite, but he will start strength morphing. Still a lot of damage to come, and they will take down the Aegis. TNC now going to start setting up with the Snapfire Kisses. Paulson going to be the first target on the Undying, but he has got the Tombstone down. They will take him out. Now Forev, nice chance is there from Jokam. However, Forev is going to start falling over with that Spirit Vessel. He will use it off. Cookie won't land, but Snowball saved through the duel onto KP, who does now get stunned up. Sonic Wave is there, however, and Forev does drop regardless. In Your Dream is still trying to fight his Miracle. He does come back in after KP. They'll find the LC now. In Your Dream looking to turn this as Miracle. He's the cleanup crew. He'll take down Tims as well on the Snapfire. And it was a bit of a prolonged team fight, but I believe T1 did end up edging it out.
I think they traded fairly evenly, all things considered. That was support and an offlaner each going away on each side, so really even overall. Even the changes in gold and EXP have basically come out even. 500 gold for TNC, 445 for T1, 0.3k XP for each side. Of course, I believe TNC does get a little bit more at the very least, because it's fairly evenly distributed on. So really even from both. I think neither side's going to be too upset. You did expand bigger cooldowns on the side of T1, but that fight went for so long that Forev has Exorcism back up anyway. They're going to have that option in the next fight. At the very least, they did take out the Aegis initially. Not going to have that tool anymore. Undermorphling, and that is going to leave Gabby just a little bit more vulnerable than he'd like to be.
Smoke will come out from T1. They could find March, but they'd rather Armel. Forev gonna run straight into him. The Yule's immediately coming out from Armel. He does get a snowball off just in time. Shards, is it gonna be there? Not quite. And now the duel comes out onto Jokam. Still a nice smoke screen from Miracle. And Gabby, he actually ends up dropping to In Your Dream. I mean, they found the Tusk kill, but it's not worth your Morphling dying.
Could be the tier 1 as well. They've got the Exorcism running. Really good pickoff coming out from T1. Again, just not enough durability on that morph. A lot of ways for T1 to control that hero. And Gabby with just the E-Blade is not enough to stand in front there. He's saving up. Maybe isn't too far off. He's definitely gonna need that item before any sort of big engagement can break out here for T1.
Coming out of the tree line, the Armel Queen of Pain TP out in that same tree line, just next to each other. $7k lead now for T1. Even Jokam, Tusk going for an Aghanim Scepter build to have that Walrus kick. The smoke going to be broken on KP, and is rather unfortunate. The Shards just giving vision. smoke will pan out to nothing.
I mean, TNC does still have to play a little bit of a stalling game. They were the ones smoked up. I think they really just looked for a quick duel win with KP. Fortunately, not going to find that. Do need to get some forward wards going. They have one nice lane ward up top and some good jungle wards on the bot lane, but not really deep. There's a lot of room there for T1 to play around. Not going to be spotted out. Could say the same for T1. They don't have the best vision in the world. They only have that one ward for bot as well, but they are just playing aggressive regardless. Just knowing that they have a bit of an advantage for themselves, so fairly confident. They know they can just kind of do this on app. Let's say put out a little bit more vision, even if it's defensive. You do finally see the Ags coming out in Paulson, so slowly but surely does grab it thanks to his Philosopher's Stone, and that is going to give him a lot more value on his decay. It's going to make it a lot harder to kill off this Undying. Just means he's going to be standing there with his Flesh Golem, doing a lot more than you'd expect.
Top tower
I wonder how big he gets. That Flesh Golem, Paulson. Gonna move forward now. It'll be March that they find, and it's not really the kill they want, but can they even get it? No, March is just way too quick with those Tranquils, and he will outrun them. However, T1 set up for a tier 3 push, but they won't go for it. Again, maintaining control of that Radiant side jungle. And TNC will occupy the Dire jungle while that's happening. And Armel scouting out the next Roshan, but it is a minute and a half away till we do see it come up. What's Gabby going for here? He's just trying to pick up his own BKB.
Not able to fight until that's done. It does feel like T1 slowing this pace of the game is giving a lot of opportunities to Tier 1 to TNC to finish up their build-ups. If you delay a game, sure, it's fine, you're ahead 6k, but you're playing against a Morphling. You're giving a Morphling space to get his farm back up, get his equipment ready. He does finish up that BKB, so Gabby's going to be in a very good spot to take these fights. He can stand forward. He's not going to be immediately controlled up or bursted down. He has some leeway to get the damage out now.
The smoke will come out from TNC now. Tims will TP to join the team. They will barely not make it in terms of scouting him out, and now they do spawn out for Rev in that mid lane as the DP. Mind you, you are fighting into a Battle Fury of Miracle on the Riki now, so it can be a little bit scary how much damage he can dish out with that Tricks of the Trade. Armel still moving forward, but he does reveal the smoke with the Scream on the creep wave.
Trickster's Rune of Illusion.
We're gonna have a counter smoke. P1 will also reveal the smoke. I don't know if TNC's seen this. They head to the Roshan pit, which is actually up. The Undying Courier scouting that out, though Armel will just take it out, so now you kind of understand where TNC's positioning is. Dream will run up and does get the chains off onto KB. Still it is purged off with the press the attack, but they really want this LC dead. Snowball, though a huge will-o-wisp March, just controlling everyone on the side of the Dire, and they're just melting right now. The kiss is the Sonic Wave, the buybacks to fly out, but T1 not looking great. In fact, never mind, they're going to move back into this. They keep moving forward, but now Gabby will clean up. There'll be a Julian in your dream. He'll go down on the Ember, and that may have just secured the Roshan for TNC.
Yeah, there's no stopping it now from T1. Could try to make a play with Jokam. He does have the Blink Dagger. Just wants to steal that Aegis away and perhaps even the cheese. He can try for it. But that's really going to be giving his life away as well. Not going to be any real contention coming out. Play. TNC once more is going to have themselves a second life and a little bit more HP to play with in the next fight.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
The mid tier 2 going down thanks to Miracle, so he knew the Aegis was going. Just picks up the tower while he can. See, back in the driver's seat, although Tim's getting jumped immediately. Chance, Miracle hasn't finished the job off. He may turn around, but now the LC comes in. It was all a bit of a bait, and KP will secure the kill with Gabby. Now they go on to Jocam. And Jocam probably won't be able to duke this out too well. He'll go for the Tim's kill, I believe. In fact, no, he'll go to the neutrals, and he will get blown up by the shotgun of Gabby. T1, they had a really significant net worth lead, but it is no longer existent. TNC take it back all the way their way, and TNC look to be the ones in control of this game.
Definitely. We're at that point where the Morphling is pretty darn big. Gabby's pretty much set to just take over this game. He's building towards his Scotty now as well. So you're looking at the Morphling who has managed to bounce back in, and you are starting to see issues with Tier 1 disagreeing. The supports just don't feel like they're giving you too much, although they do catch KP.
KP's got no way out of that. Armel, he's blinked forward. He does have a cheese and BKB available, so he feels safe enough, and he pops the BKB, but he is very low. Do you want to jump back in? He'll go after Forev. Undying Tombstone has been dropped on Armel. He will eat the cheese in the middle of all this, and now the Will-O-Wisp holding them in. They want that Tombstone first. They still haven't found it. This isn't looking great. Armel, he does die, and you've lost the Aegis on the Morphling. Gabby, he finally gets the damn Tombstone. And he does end up finding Forev and Polison.
Oh, please.
But they may turn. In your dream, he gets a chains off with that Spirit Vessel onto Gabby. Miracle trying to find another target on the Ricky to secure. A very forced team fight from TNC, and
Tower is under attack.
I don't know if that's exactly what you wanted. It just didn't seem like they could finish the Tombstone, and the damage coming out from T1 was just so darn high.
Yeah, that's just a bad fight to take in a really rough location. That was a really good Tombstone drop coming out of Paulson. Just right up the hill, no vision there. They couldn't manage to clear it out. They did trade 2 heroes for that, but in the end, they did take out 2 cores. They finished out the Aegis as well from Gabby. So that little bit of a tool there from TNC is gone. Although Gabby still does manage to finish up the Eye of Scotty anyway, so you're looking at a highly farmed Morphling in the end. Still going to be a big hero to take out, but you're not going to have to deal with 2 lives on Gabby, and that could make the difference here for T1. They still are able to bring it back to TNC. Still a fairly even game, 17 to 20. 1k advantage for T1, but that has definitely dropped off from what it was before. And you could argue that TNC is looking a bit stronger at this point in the game. Not quite there yet completely, but they are starting to whittle away at T1.
T1 gonna start moving forward. Dream spotted out by Gabby. Gabby is a fairly tanky target. He won't be too afraid. Still, they move in.
Illusion.
TNC will return to the triangle and just smoke up. Where are we headed, though? Looks like we have a loop around. Through the dire side jungle, and yeah, there's the line being drawn out. All the way around. In fact, I don't even know if they have enough smoke time to really make this happen. In fact, they will. They do go for a bit of a shortcut, but Miracle is right in the back, so he will break the smoke if you're not too careful. And they continue to loop around. That smoke duration's almost worn off now. Oh, Armel, no. He blinks onto the cliff. It'll be all right. Nothing too bad. T1 will spot them out now. I guess this could be good for Armel being clipped. Now they get a duel off Forev. Snowball save is going to be there, and the Tombstone has been dropped. Now KP almost goes down, but they do get Jocam at the very least. But KP has lost his own life. Armel now, who are you going after? Miracle is right on top of him with the smoke screen, dishing out a fair bit of damage. Is it going to be enough? It will be. Armel dies. March just runs the complete other way. The rest of TNC understood that team fight was over. Once that blink forward from Armel meant certain death.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, it was interesting. TNC looked like they wanted to bait in T1. They were ready with a duel from KP. They just, forgot that the snowball was there. That was just kind of completely negated. Still, they do hold on to their tier 3s. It doesn't look like T1 will be able to clear that out. The exorcism does expire. Repair kit is in play. That's going to be enough to stop T1 from taking any objective off the back of those kills.
T1. Go back for that Radiant Side outpost. Everyone's just keeping it calm, keeping it cool. T1 does have a 4k net worth advantage once again. They attempted the high ground push, but this Dana repair kit really makes it difficult, although Miracle does have the Ags up.
That's going to be big. At least, I think the added range, the added duration is going to make it a lot harder to kill him off. Of course, he can just jump into, I think, the best targets in your dream. Go into IYD, get all his damage off every single time. A lot more flexibility to get the job done here. That could be a major factor. We have seen a lot of rookies really start to wreck face when Ags comes into play.
Silence going to be there on Armel, trying to force that BKB usage out. He won't quite yet. Follow-up chains, it will all be purged off by KP on the LC. And if you're TNC right now, it feels like you're just waiting for that that level 25 point for Armel, where you do get the fear bonus from the talent. The hero does just completely change once you hit that level 25 mark.
It's completely broken once you have that. Like, you can just force fights away. T1 is going to have trouble fighting into that. Gives so much control towards TNC. And it's not like Scream is a very long cooldown. That fear is just obnoxious every single time you see that Quap hit 25.
Death tax. Let's refuse gold given.
We've held out long enough. The tier 4 items are flying out. Got the Minotaur horn. That is given. It's actually just sent back to base. Her apps.
No, they gave the Minotaur horn over to Jokam. Yeah.
He's got a lot more to give. Like, he can safely get that snowball save every single time. No issue. And you do buy enough time, at the very least, for Gabby to have a Satanic up. So he can man-fight a bit better on this morph. It's going to be a bit more hard-pressed to really burst him down in the spam fight. Can hold his own at the very least. So got that up and running now for TNC.
Timeless Relic now will also come out on the morph. Always a very nice item to have. He may just take it for himself. But he does have the Paladin Sword, so perhaps not. Give it over to.
Dire's
No one
bottom
quite yet.
tower is under attack.
Who spoke up TNC? Loop around through their own triangle, but they won't have the high ground advantage. In fact, never mind. They're going to go through the dire side jungle now. They really do like to take the long way around. But T1 always seems to be quite aware of when this is happening. They don't really risk too much at all. They just stick as a team and just wait.
Green Dude's top thing is about to get knocked over.
Got the Roche up and ready to go as well. Nice scan from T1 does figure out where TNC is. They're in their own smoke. They could try to go for something.
Yeah, they definitely want to take this team fight, that's for sure. Oh, TNC, you don't want to walk low ground right now. This is the worst time to do it for Ren. Gonna show himself, gets the silence off on the Queen of Pain, but they really want that LC. And again, KP, gonna be Spirit Siphoned to death in the shadows. In your dream does pick it up on the Ember.
Oh,
Can they find more? No, Snowball is going to be there on Armel. He does have his BKB. He will not pop it yet. But they could force a Roshan and at least get the buyback out of the LC here.
I think they're pretty much set to try to get that done. They didn't expand the exorcism there as well, so Forev still has that tool. They're gonna go ahead and do it. Like, this is gonna force a response from TNC. They should be aware, but they don't have a scan, they don't have wards down. They might not be able to get that contestion out.
Yeah, they're just gonna allow the Roshan to go.
It has the Ags upgrade as well, so this could easily go to IYD or Forev just to give them a lot more with their, with their kits, and that's just gonna be a massive power spike right there for either hero.
When your dream
There you go.
will take it.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Can't blame him for that though. He got that huge range on the remnants.
Green Dude's top thing is
I
about
still
to get
think
knocked over.
TNC are just
Dire's
kind of
bottom
allowing that
tower is under
Roshan to go as they're still waiting on Armel to get that 25 up.
Radiant's top tower is under
I mean, it's a
attack.
slow process. He's still at 23. Like, yeah, he's eventually gonna hit there, but you are gonna be bleeding a lot of space on the ground for that to get done. Oh,
Radiant's
IYD's
top
just going for it.
tower has fallen.
BKB TP. In your dream, always just going to be able to remnant back to his team. Is this the time we see the high ground attempt coming out? T1, they have been very, very cautious about how they play this. Of course, you have got that level 25 mark on Miracle now, so I mean, the cooldown on the Tricks of the Trade is only 5 seconds. Really be quite a slippery hero with that. He's got the multi-shot adaptive strike on Gabby. He's hit level 26. Very big on the Morphling, just not quite big enough. Exorcism gonna be popped. They don't want to waste any more time. T1. Move forward. There is going to be the LC blinking forward, but again the snowball save. And KP just dies to the ghosts. Gabby now trying to find. They've jumped onto Armel. In fact, it's not Armel, it's March in the back lines. The poor Coddle can't really do much but try to run away. Armel, meanwhile, getting bashed up in the back lines. He blinks out of there. They are trying to control Forev on this DP. Forev is looking perfectly fine. In Your Dream has caught out Armel on the Queen of Pain, who has no buyback. And Forev looks like he's going to be able to just walk out. But In Your Dream about to fall, but that's just a free reset, as he does have the Aegis. Paulson is still stealing a lot of strength with that decay, and now the jump back in. They have caught the LC KP. He can't afford to die like this, but Forev moves forward. Gabby at least does find Paulson, but you got the die back now onto KP as Miracle, trying to man fight a Morphling. That does not work out in his favor. Gabby pushing it back through this mid lane, trying his best to not allow this Rax to go down. More adaptive strikes to fly up, but Jocam, he uses that Minotaur horn. Now Forev falling low on the DP. He does also get blown up by Gabby, who basically holds them back by himself. And T1, got it. They managed to get the T3 tower. That's all they managed to get, however.
You really are starting to see the effects of just how big Gabby is on the Morph. He deals so much damage, he can just stand there and bite, worry-free, pops the Satanicon, is basically unkillable, has his Butterfly up and running, saving up for the Divine Rapier next. Once that's up and running, of course, the Morphling will just wreck face entirely. And it looks good from T1 for a while. It looks like they're managing to find those kills. I think it was a bit disjointed at some point. Like, lose out on Miracle, it just kind of falls apart there. And beforehand, of course, the early death impulse and really wanting to stay alive to spam out that decay. And if he's not able to, then all the targets do feel just a bit tankier than they could be.
Oh, Gabby gonna wait for him in very confidently. Tombstone to be dropped, they'll go after March first. He does get the Will-O-Wisp down, but he should surely die. In fact, never mind, he goes forms up. March still gonna die. The Snowball does chase him down. Still the Will-O-Wisp is ticking away, and surely they will be able to clear out the side of T1, and they do.
Oh man.
Just nobody aimed the Will-O-Wisp. They just stood in it.
This is going to be a massive issue for T1. At the very least, Miracle is up and running again, and 4F isn't too far off. So there shouldn't be any major push that can come out from TNC. But that was a lot of heroes to lose over a March dieback. So at the least, they got the dieback from the Kotl. They can't really do anything with that time. We're going to have to take some chip damage on their objective.
Double silence from 4M. Oh, KB, he jumps straight in with the jewel. He wants revenge, and he is going to find it. The DP does drop, but they have buyback. They'll commit straight away. Even Jokam committing on the snowball. 4M. 4M is very far forward right now, trying to find a Morphling by himself. He pops his BKB, but Armel does not give up. Gabby's still trying to chase, but he's getting bashed by the Ricky. 4M, he'll die back straight away. Now the Ricky falling very low. Miracle, can he actually get out of this? It looks like he can't. Tims, he had the shotgun. Gabby was the one who had the final output of damage. There will be buybacks. Oh my, in your dream! Oh. Spirit Vessel and 5 Remnants will do that to you as Tims will now fall. And both teams just making a couple of errors that are costing some very, very valuable lives.
Oh, I mean, at the least, you do have buyback available onto Gabby, but a little bit of slip-up like that, and suddenly your push does get cancelled off. Like, look at that tier tree, 51 HP. Right? Just a little bit more of awareness there would have given them at least the tier 3, maybe some trip damage onto the racks. And instead, you get T1 that does look to force out that mid lane. It's their turn to try to get something out. They should be aware that the buyback is going to be up and ready on Gabby. So if things do get a bit rough, TNC can always just buy back on their Morphling, and suddenly this push is not going to go as well as you'd expect.
Remnants forward in your dream, hoping to find somebody trying to protect that mid-racks. It's only March available anyway, and all he can do is illuminate from a distance. Can't even get close enough with the blinding light, as you know IYD will just jump.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
They do find the first set. Down to the bot lane. You do have buybacks available on TNC, but they really don't want to have to commit them right now. And so you lose one melee barracks, but I mean, you're 50 minutes into the game. Like, one melee barracks really does not matter.
It does help in keeping the lane shoved out naturally, but it's not the biggest objective in the world now. I'd say if they did get the full racks, that would be a bit better, but one lane, not the biggest deal. Key thing now as well is that this 10k net worth lead one has is not substantial anymore. That is still a good amount of items on their Ember, but they are being kept at a pretty reasonable pace by Gabby. We have seen Miracle kind of slide behind now, so he's not too far off, but you know, he's maintaining a slight lead over Armel, who does have 25. So you have that 25 talent in the Queen of Pain to worry about now. And that's just going to make a lot of these fights a lot harder for T1.
I do get some concern for Armel, as Miracle does have the Abyssal Blade, so you do have the guaranteed lockdown. That's the part that scares me a little bit for this Queen of Pain. We'll see T1, they smoke up. Scan is going to actually catch Armel, so they know he's in there somewhere, but for him, going to run forward. Smoke will be broken, but he gets the silence off. Can they lock him down? Armel actually commits the flicker. Smoke screen. Won't hold him down long enough. I always find it very scary committing that flicker. You just never know where it's going to take you. I guess he always has the blink follow-up anyway, but...
Hope for the best with that one.
Yeah.
Still, does go out just fine. This is gonna make T1 just play around that jungle area once more, waiting for his straggler to walk up. I don't think you can really expect TNC to bite that bait. They're aware of where T1 wants to stay in that high ground. So there is a smoke now from TNC.
Try and capitalize off understanding the location of T1. Around. You know, TNC enjoys running in these circles before they really get there. Just gonna run around that cliff first. They spot out Miracle. He does break the smoke though. It looks like Forev has been caught. Gabby, he pops his BKB. Snapfire's kisses is flying out. It's raining fire right now. Snowball will save the Undying, at least for now, from KB. Still, Holliston gonna survive as they do drop 1 and 2. In fact, Gabby and Tims both go down. A nice will-o-wisp, but it will not be enough to really save his teammates. And well, they might even find KP on the LC. In fact, he is gone. No buyback available. Now Armel is the main priority target, though he BKB's up on Forev. Still moving forward, wanting to go after Tims. Now Gabby buys back as well on the Morphling. They'll go after Miracle on that Ricky, but the snowball save again coming out of Joe Cam, just not letting them do anything to his cause. Joe Cam may go down, but it's well worth it for the cause as Gabby jumps in, and whoa, that's a lot of damage coming in. Now the Riven's forward from In Your Dream. It's not enough. The Satanic from the Morphling will save his life, but the kickback. Tims with the dieback as well as Armel also dying back. March almost going down. He does. It's all up to Gabby and KP. They'll duel. They'll get Forev, and it's going to be a huge trade between the two. T1 ends up with no buybacks available either. TNC, a full team wipe happening. They did have 4 buybacks at the time. TNC now, they need to make a push.
It's gonna be challenging to get that done. I mean, IYD can clear out waves quite nicely. It's gonna be hard for him to completely hold off this entire push by himself, but I think there is still pressure in TNC. They can't afford to risk too much as well. They're going to try to go for the Roche. They should be able to take it out. That is spotted out by Paulson's Wardell, by his courier, so they are aware of that. That is going to be the refresh ads along with the Aegis and Cheese, so there's a lot more going to the way of TNC there, though.
Oh, he's going after March. In Your Dream, this will be a dieback on the Keeper of the Light. Roshan is still happening, but he has time to Remnant in if he really wants. He's not throwing a Remnant as he only has one. Just doesn't want to risk it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So Gabby does take the axe for himself. Refresher Shan going to be sitting on KP, at least for now.
Hey, you guys.
Of course, Gabby also has the Aegis and is still going after that Divine Rapier. Not finding any objectives apart from that Roshan to be. But I guess the Roshan at this stage of the game is just so valuable. It doesn't really matter if you find one rack anyway. It means nothing. It's all about having that secondary life.
For sure. And we're starting to approach the point where you would start to think about tier 5 items. They should be popping in a few moments, so we're going to start to see that, and that could change the pace here for a couple of heroes, of course. Still, you know, it's not quite there yet, but once you start seeing those pop out, you could see a massive spike for either side, depending on what they pick up. See that come into play.
Will be. Only about 4.5 minutes till those are available. You know, those tier 5 items are completely ridiculous. Like, that was basically IceFrog saying, look, if you reach an hour mark into the game, I want it to end. You know, I don't want it to go any further. And they were, well, I hope we get to the point anyway, because once you've reached 55, 56 minutes, you just want to go all the way. See how lucky either get.
I mean, Gabby has his Divine, so there you go. Like, if it swings away, that could be it. If they win a couple of fights, then T1's left at their base. It's an either or now.
Okay, he's getting rid of the shotgun. So no Ethereal Blade now, just Divine. Fair enough. Do you just wait out the next 3.5 minutes? Like, do you bother trying to push in?
I think you should try to maximize this Aegis as much as possible. So I think you should look to TNC to try to play aggressive. They do smoke up. They want to find something while they have the advantage.
Win popularity is just so darn close as well. It's been up and down the whole game, but mostly just within that 50% mark for Rev. Gonna get spotted here. Gabby jumping forward. There's the exorcism and the smoke screen. Gabby, he needs help. He's falling very, very low right now. Gabby may lose the Aegis in just a moment if he's not careful. Still, he does manage to get away just barely. He's been rooted up. He is still surviving somehow for Rev. Playing around with him. They know he does have that secondary life. The rest of TNC, however, do not jump. They trust their position one to survive that. No, they really are playing with fire, TNC.
Taste.
Definitely are. A massive risk of a jump in if Gabby lost his Aegis and then fell, well, just given the Divine Way. That's their way back in here. That's their way to take these objectives. They're going to have to hold on to that. At the very least, they bait out the Exorcism from Forev, so he's not going to have that available anytime soon.
This T3 tonight. Took about 15 minutes, but there it is. Now, mid-rack, Trevor forward in your dream. He doesn't care about the Divine, and now the smoke screen will make him miss quite a bit as Forev does turn on his Blade Mail, which can be very scary for this Morphling as he tries to fight back onto In Your Dream. And he gets the range racks, but I've got to tell you, the damage output didn't look very scary from Gabby.
No. It was kind of underwhelming, especially when he was just right-clicking down on Forev with his Satanic on. It just looked like nothing was really happening there. Just a lot of HP was cleaned away.
Paulson,
this DP.
be a little bit careful. Gabby does hit him pretty hard, although he can just decay. He'll flicker, but a huge Will-O-Wisp coming out once again from March, just holding all of T1 in. A kick across the map. They're kicking the Morphling away. Now the LC Jewel is onto the Undying Sonic Wave just to make sure he gets it. In Your Dream, jumps back in, but again, it's into the Will-O-Wisp. Now the Ricky does commit tricks to the trade on the Ember. They want to chase T1. They are not done. Paulson brought back Gabby. He's been left behind right now. He needs some help. They still do have that Will-O-Wisp, but he's getting kicked back towards the dire side base. They will find Joe Cam at the least on the task, but he'll buy back. Paulson, he doesn't want to die back like this, but he does. So it's a 4v5. T1 gonna move away back to their base. TNC, you know, they don't really have much buybacks on their end either, so they've got to be slightly careful about how they approach this high ground push.
Yeah, they've got to be really cautious and ensure. I mean, it's 4v5, you lose the Aegis by expiry. It's a really risky moment now. Like, even without the Undying, you are just so vulnerable to one bad play here.
Well, he finds the mid-rats. Root is going to be there from the chains of In Your Dream, though Gabby will just heal up with the lifesteal that he has with the Paladin Sword and Satanic. It kind of feels like he's just got a permanent Satanic on with those two. Chains up from Gabby. He wants to fight In Your Dream. He's copying a fair bit of damage, but the smoke screen does drop. They're going to go up to the top tier 3. They feel confident enough to try and force this team fight, TNC. KP gets a jewel on. He has found the task. This will be a very, very nice kill, as Joe Camp doesn't have buyback available. So Forev, he'll pop the Exorcism, tricks the trade onto Forev, but he is falling quite fast. He needs to run right now. Gabby just walking forward. Can they find the DP? They can. He does have buyback and commits it immediately, but now Gabby really putting the pressure on by going after the tier 4s. Abyssal, but it connects on both. Gabby now realizing he may need to back out, or maybe he just goes back in. Still, he gets rooted up. Spirit Siphon is there from Forev, but Gabby will return the fate. They just can't kill him. If you can't kill the Morphling, he can just take your tier 4s and your Ancient pretty darn quick. He'll just keep turning around with that Spirit Siphon, healing himself up. The tier 4 now gone, and the Ancient is exposed in tier 1. How do you defend this? The Ancient falling so darn quick, they don't have time. The Will-O-Wisp is to the back. And that's it. T1.
Oh, just turning it around with the patience to wait out for that Divine.